Good morning and welcome, my friends, to another Subi Shaves video with me on a beautiful morning. Hashtag Team All Blade and hashtag No Blade Left Behind. You know I've got to say it. Subi smiles to all of you and squad goals. I'm thrilled to have you here today. Whether you're a brand new user or one that's coming back, thank you so much for clicking in today's shave video and for joining me. Hopefully wherever you're watching from, you got something cold in your hand and you're sitting in a comfy chair. Will it on in and welcome. I'm super excited for today's shave. We're going to be reviewing for the first time ever this brand new razor from BOTI. This is the Vortex. It's a dual hybrid bar system where you got a closed bar on this side, an open bar on this side. It's got the scallop top cap and this beautifully finished handle. I'm really excited. It's a 1.15 gap with a positive exposure of 0.15. It's got some bite, it's got some fill. We got Derby Premium Blacks loaded up into it, and today we're going to be reviewing it and seeing how it shaves. I can tell you this, the shave on the face and the neck did not suck, but there are some things you're going to want to know if you're interested in the razor before purchasing it. Thank you again for being here. I'm telling you, you're going to want to stick around. This is important. I want to mention a couple things about the razor before you run out and purchase it. Thank you again for being here for this. Today, we're going to be rocking out with Sci-Fi Lime from Phoenix ARTISAN Accoutrements. I did do the lathering process. We'll have that going here. I absolutely love this stuff. I think it's a fantastic shave soap from Phoenix ARTISAN Accoutrements. From Phoenix Shaving, I'm telling you, it's a hard scent for me to beat. It really is. I love the label of it. I think it's freaking awesome. Just take a look at this. Smells so good. It smells like lime, right? It smells just really, really clean. It doesn't smell like cleaner. I really enjoy the citrus punch that it has. For me, it's one of my favorite ones from Doug, but it doesn't smell like your atypical lime scent, right? It has some complexities to it that I think make it just one of these ones that stand out for me. I love this. We use it quite frequently, but I just want to keep mentioning it, and I love the scent. And again, if you want to, yes, they are affiliated with us. If you go below, click that link. It does help the channel and it helps get you guys some great gear. We are already lathered up, as you can see, in our Phoenix ARTISAN Accoutrements Dreamscape Scuttle with our body brush. This is a brand new body brush that just lathered up so nicely today. Woo! Smells really good. Smells so nice. I don't care where in the jelly donut you're from. This is absolutely fantastic. Slick, hydrated, and ready for a shave. We're going to add a little bit extra on there just for some fun and slickness. Smells so nice. Absolutely love this one from Doug. One of my favorite ones from Phoenix ARTISAN Accoutrements in the citrus and kind of scent, citrus inspired scents. Take a look. All right, so let's do some shaving. Let's do some talking, and let's really dig into the Vortex razor. It's an aggressive razor, right? I would put it as a more high end of medium to low end of aggressive. It does have some fill, has some gap, and it definitely is efficient. Now, when I first purchased the razor, right, as I always do, and because I do take this so seriously, right, I did some test swipes on my arm and it drew blood without a blade, right? That was the shocking part for me. Is I grabbed it, I actually just loaded I screwed everything together, swiped it across my hand without a blade, and I started bleeding. Now, I was curious about it, so I started doing some, just kind of looking it over, checking corners, things like that. And in the end, what I ended up finding is this corner here was so ultra sharp, right? It had no facet to it. And as you can see right now, even right now, the facet on it is pretty marginal. And I did that by hand using a Dremel. I just went very, very carefully, just removed that sharp point with a Dremel. I did it on all of the teeth as well. Every tooth had a sharp corner without a facet. Every single one. And I will post a little video on the right here. What I ended up doing was I took an open comb from YATES and I just ran it across a paper towel with the paper on top of it. So you have paper towel paper, and I just ran it across to see if I could cut the paper. And in the end, this razor didn't even take any pressure and it would slice the paper open with the corner. I don't like that. I want to mention that. I thought it was very uncomfortable. And sometimes you'll hear people say, this has a sharp corner, it has an unfinished edge. I want to mention this. It's actually polished, and it was polished to a point, right? There's no facet to this, and there's a reason why razor makers will facet edges, because it makes it slide smoothly against the skin and not cause irritation or scratch marks, right? This would not only cause scratch marks, I think you could shave with it without the blade inside of it. So keep in mind, I did take that edge completely off, and I did make it so that it would at least glide across the paper as much as the YATES does. Now, this was sharp on both sides. I want to mention that as well. Some people will say, well, it's the open comb problem. It's really not. Both corners on both sides were extremely sharp enough to cut paper, and I did video that, and I wanted to showcase that so that you guys can see it. I do care about each and every one of you and your skin, and I do take this very seriously, and because of that, I want to be very clear and transparent that yes, it does come with some sharp edges that do not have facets. On top of that, right, I did purchase this razor for $110. I took advantage of their first 5 razors purchased in the polished format. And I did get it for a little bit cheaper, but I did pay 110 Subi dollars. So if you appreciate that, please go below and let me know in the comment section. I really, really do like the razor. The handle does fit the Yates head, which I think is fantastic, right? This lets me use this absolutely fantastic grippy handle with my Yates. It's a little longer. It's a 71 gram total razor. They don't mention that in their article, but it is 71 grams. And then, we'll get some swipes in. Let's get some swipes in. I'm losing myself here. I want to mention this. The razor actually used to have a whole description that BOTI has since removed when they first released the razor. It used to give credit towards the design and the designer, but that has since disappeared. I do not remember the designer's name, but I do know that they've removed the credation for the design of the actual razor. You can see after that corner was removed and it, polished and deburred, it is a smooth shaver. I do enjoy the little lip that it has on the bar. There's like a little tiny lip right here that actually engages the skin and helps create some skin stretching, which I really like. These Derby Premium blades feel super smooth in it, and you can almost see the skin stretch as I'm shaving. You can actually see it start to stretch, and I could see it on my cheeks as well. It hugs the skin. It has that suctiony effect that some modern razors have. This is a full razor that covers the blade tabs, which I also really like, right? You don't have to cut any blade tabs or anything like that. It covers the blade tabs, full titanium. There's not a lot of razors out there that are full titanium that actually cover the blade tabs, so good on them. I like that. That's a plus. Actually, for the overall razor, I love the entire thing. The stand. Can we just talk about how cool that stand is? You get the stand, you get the full razor, and it's $110 polished. That's what I paid, and I think that's a deal. Now, I cannot say that I recommend the razor, and it pains me. It pains me to say that, but I do not believe the razor was safe to use as it was delivered to my door, and as such, I can't recommend the actual head and base plate for this razor. It does utilize a 3-prong setup, so you have 2 holes and the little pegs as the standard way of holding and securing the blade, which is fine for me. I don't think that's really a pro or a con, but I do think the way that the razor came is a con, right? I do think it belongs in a less recommendable situations. I do not know if BOTI will watch this and say to themselves, well, maybe we need to add some facets. That's a possibility, but I can tell you on the model that I have and received as part of their first 5 sold, right, or 10 sold, whatever they ended up deciding to go with on that promotion, that it does not have facets on any of the corners. I don't love that. I'm going to be straight honest, very transparent here, but I can tell you once those are removed, and you add a little bit of deburring going on there, that is slick, that is smooth, that shaves as pretty as it looks. I really enjoy that. I think it's a phenomenal shaver that I will use, right? I will use it at the $110 range. I think that's awesome. Now, some of you watching right now may think to yourself, hey, that's just Subi's preference. Maybe it's just his head is very sensitive. It totally could be that way. Honestly, you may use the razor as is and say to yourself, oh, those corners are fine. For me, I'm telling you, if it's cutting through paper, I don't like the way that feels on the skin. It's just a personal preference thing. I thought it was really, really extremely uncomfortable on the skin. It was uncomfortable enough that I wouldn't use it with a blade loaded as OEM as delivered. Personally, I actually loaded it up, tried it on the skin, and I could feel the corners more than I could feel the blade. And that was a big, huge con for me, personally. And so I was like, I will not use the razor until I have fixed it and polished it and taken off the burrs. And now it shaves very smooth. It is very, very, very nice. And it is definitely aggressive. I want to mention that this, in my opinion, again, is going to borderline that medium high. It's aggressive. I'm telling you, it feels aggressive on my skin. I hate saying that because then people reach for it and say, well, the Rex has more bite. Sure, but this is still fairly aggressive. I would still put this as a medium to high efficiency with a ton of skin fill as far as the blade goes. I can fill that blade every single swipe. It's giving me a really smooth shave, but at the same time, like, handle with care, right? I would not recommend this razor to somebody that is brand new to the craft, especially, right? With all the extra work that had to go into it. And on top of that, it is look at the smudge coming off of there. Look at all that stubble. It is wiping it off and taking it down. It is absolutely, right, just obliterating. It's lasering off the stubble. With the flat bar side, the open comb side, I found to be equal. I found it to be a little bit more blade fill, if you can believe that. But the actual efficiency of it was probably darn near equal for me. And so I actually like the closed bar system more, so that's the side I'm using. I just liked it a little bit better. It was a little bit smoother for me, and I got the same efficiency. So for me, I just stayed with that closed bar system rather than go with the open bar. But for people out there that have lots of long growth, reaching for that open comb system may be really nice, and to have it on one razor is really nice. Have both sides on one razor? Come on. I don't know what in the flying freckly you want, but that's nice. I like that. So those are the reasons I purchased it. I like the combo, the combo base plate. I really like the titanium finish. I love that I could get the full thing for under $150, $110 for that. I thought it was really cool. I love that it's a full set, right? It looks kind of like the Tatara setup, right? Kind of looks like the full Tatara. It's like a Tatara timeless combo here. I like it a lot. It fits nice and snug. My biggest complaint is that it didn't have the facets on those corners, and so it's very extremely uncomfortable and a little too sharp for my preferences as is. Now again, I just wanted to clarify that, be very clear, but that shouldn't detract you or deter you if you're looking for a razor with some kick. This absolutely has kick to it. I like the longer handle too. A lot of the titanium razors you'll find have short handles. This has got a really nice long titanium handle. Hard to find that. Really hard to find that unless you're looking at the RazorLock Halo handle. This has definitely got some length to it, which helps kind of get you into those tight spots. You know what I mean? Or if you're doing the arms or elbows or knees, legs. I like the longer handle. I really do. It helps get that low part of your neck right here without having to stretch for it. Very comfortable. And I'm actually doing some buffing and everything just to double check those corners. I really am. I'm going in there. I am making sure that we're nice and close, nice and comfortable. Wow. Beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. Super comfortable. Really nice. Easy going. With the corners removed, right? It's still efficient. It's still aggressive. It has skin fill the entire time. It looks as aggressive as it fills on the skin, right? If you look at that thing, it just looks vicious, right? Just looks vicious. I love the way it looks. And the way it shaves is really good. As long as you remove the corners. Again, I hope BOTI sees this. I hope they recognize the fact that they probably should do just facets, right? Some minor facets to those corners, and then they'd have a knockout home run winning razor. Otherwise, just know you're probably going to do a little bit of work to it just so that it doesn't scratch you when you go into unlevel surfaces, elbows, knees, things like that. Your Adam's apple, right? As you get close to it with those corners, you'll feel it. Otherwise, awesome shave from the BOTI razor. Really appreciated and enjoyed this one. If you did too, let me know in the comments below. Go ahead, hit that like button while you're at it. I really do appreciate it. We're grabbing a little splasher and we're gonna do the entire setup here. Oh yeah, no, we are slick-tastic, super smooth. We have no irritation whatsoever. And I will mention this, the first time I tried this out without the blade in it, I had cat scratch marks all over my whole entire arm, my hands. I was like really shocked. It only took one pass for me to say, nope, no thank you. It was very uncomfortable. The fact that my head has no irritation, no scratch marks, I'm actually pretty decently impressed. I think the job that I did with the Dremel ended up turning out pretty good. for all intents and purposes, for usability's sake, I think it turned out really nice. Again, beautiful razor, the Vortex, 1.15 gap, 0.15 millimeter exposure. I would put it as a more aggressive razor for sure that covers the blade tabs. I love the design of it. I think it's phenomenal, and I definitely will be using the handle on the daily with my Yates razor. But as far as the actual razor goes, would I recommend it? I can't personally, unless you have the skill set to fix it, or BOTI goes in and does some minor adjustments. Thank you again for joining me for the shave. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And until I see you again, Subs out.